Hi guys, so today I'm going to talk about why all the kids are screwed and why we've kind of done it to them. And it all revolves around this one question. What does the future look like in about 50 years? And you're going to have a hard time answering that because we haven't set it out. And everything that we do, we look into the future and all we see is like dystopian futures that we're just screwed up and it's wrong and we've watched too much Black Mirror and whatever else. And historically, that has not been the case. We are the ushers of the new world or something. Like that's been the kind of the mantra for Western culture up until now. We will bring freedom to the world. We will bring democracy to the world. Go back even further, and it was the English Empire trying to bring civility to the world, bring Christianity to the world. Then you had like the space race, like finished off in the 70s or whatever, and we haven't touched space since really. We just were able to look further into it now, which is cool. But we don't have a space race. Like, what's our race at the moment? Because all we're teaching our kids, all we're telling them is that humans are a virus and we're killing the planet. So no longer is it trying to make the best, be the strongest, get there first. Now it's trying to limit yourself so you, for the absolute horrible abomination that you are, don't destroy this planet any more than you have to. And that's a very different vibe. So yeah. But okay. So that's on kind of like a cultural level, on a big human species level, like where are we trying to go? Let's try and bring it down a level and just go for technology. What technology do you think will be around in about 50 years? And okay, we have self-driving cars and electric cars, granted. I'll give you that. Everyone can think of that. What else? Because it's difficult, because we haven't told ourselves and we're afraid of everything that's coming. We focus so much on the way it could screw us over that none of us talk about the good stuff. None of us talk about how good some of it could be. And again, kids need that. They need a direction. Feck it, we need that. Adults need it. We need a direction. We need to know we're going somewhere, that there's some light version of a purpose. We want that at least. And at the moment, we're all just floating about and then we turn on each other because we're not being fair to each other. And it's just horrible. So, okay, let's explore the technology one just for a second. Because it's a tough one to answer because we don't know it and we don't celebrate it enough. Historically, again, like you've watched Back to the Future, they thought we'd have self-driving cars. They thought like your whole house, your whole home would be interconnected where you'd be able to order off Amazon from your kettle or something like that. That everything would be technology. We've watched too much Black Mirror, honestly. We blindside ourselves to what's coming. So what is coming? Like, let's actually lay it out, because there's stuff coming. There's a guy trying to research how to keep our bodies immortal, trying to reverse the aging process, and they're doing this through telomeres and like whatever sort of science that I don't even know properly, but they seem to be getting results, which is interesting. What would we look like if we were immortal? Stop being dystopian. Stop catastrophizing. Just be like, oh my God, that's kind of cool. Just for a second. Just give yourself a second to appreciate the fact that there's someone on a frontier discovering something new. Because we don't have a frontier at the moment. We looked up in, like, again, 100 years ago, we looked up into space where it's like, oh my God, we can explore. Then we looked, again, 200 years ago, back in the 1800s or 1700s, we were like, oh my God, there's Africa and all the rest. We can explore that. We can explore America. There's a frontier to go to. That's awesome. We also went even smaller. We looked at the atom, at chemistry. We looked, it's like, oh my God, there's frontiers there too. And now it's all just subjects in school that you have to do so you can get the grades, so you can be an accountant, so you can get the house, get the wife, get the kids, get the dog. And don't forget the white picket fence. Where's the hope? Where's the ambition? Where's the drive? Just come on. Anyway, okay. And by the way, there's an interesting thought that says that we might have an evolutionary switch in our brain, that when a person, there's different thresholds for this. So obviously this won't apply to everyone. Some people will just forever and always be happy with the house, wife, kids, dog, white picket fence. They're happy with that. Grand. There's an argument for your brain recognizing when resources are low, or when it's difficult to find space in your tribe, difficult to find your niche, your area of expertise, or where you fit in. There's an argument for when your brain recognizes this, it switches mode into exploration mode, meaning I'm leaving this behind and I'm going to find something else. I'm going to go to the frontier and I'm going to claim my own resources, and I might even send some back because resources are low, or whatever else. That argument also goes towards homosexuality, which is the weirdest one ever, and that's a grenade. Lose an arm there. Don't know if that one's true. And I don't know if the first one's true, because neuroscience is not where I want it to be. They have not proved that there is a switch that recognizes when resources are low, that you switch into like an exploration mode, or a individualistic mode, or a kind of like, just screw it, I'm going to go find a new place. They haven't mapped it properly yet, but there's a solid argument for it. And I find that interesting, if nothing else. Where are those people going to go? Where's the frontier that they're going to try and find their new space, find new resources so they can send it back to the mainland and keep everyone happy? Okay, total side note. Yes, that was a detour. Back to technology in 50 years. What's going to happen? Okay, let's concentrate on Elon Musk for like 10 minutes, because God knows he's the only one doing anything. Wants to go to Mars. Shot a Tesla car into space just for the crack of it. Wants to do underground motorway so that he can lower congestion and maybe separate out automated cars from human-driven cars, because half the accidents are because of the human-driven car messing around with, like, the automation can't read it right, or the automated car, like someone crossing the road and doesn't recognize it in time, or whatever else. But if you take out the human component, they're pretty bloody safe. So anyway, that's another thing he's doing. You have the Neuralink, where he's trying to connect your brain to the computer and potentially even upload your brain to the computer. And I don't even know what else the guy's doing. Electric cars, self-driving cars, all that stuff. So there's 5 different things. There's another guy there's MIT or whatever, who's just like, their artificial intelligence is interesting. It's just like, they seem to be kind of close to it. They're not. If you actually look into it, it's not as close as it seems, but it's kind of cool. Okay, so you've like artificial intelligence and all the rest. That would be interesting. And don't catastrophize it. Don't say, oh my God, they're going to take over. It's just like, what are we competing for? Like, they don't need food. They don't need resources. They just need a bit of space. And as long as we leave them alone, it's fine. That might be the most naive thing I ever say. But it doesn't matter. In this video, we're just trying not to catastrophize. We're trying to say, oh my God, here's a frontier. Here's something new. Here's excitement. Here's invention. We're trying to say that humans are producing something, that we're not just a virus. There's the guy that's trying to reverse aging. Like, that's cool. And there's countless others. If we gave them due credit, we'd be so much happier. If we actually acknowledged what people are doing, if we put more emphasis on it and didn't look at Kim Kardashian's ass as often, or didn't care about LeBron James's political views, and it's like, oh my God, a celebrity's getting political. Oh, it's like fucking Ronald Reagan. Anyway, none of it's new, and yet we're all focusing on irrelevant stuff, and none of us are focusing on much positive, which is all fine, except for the fact that we're all calling humanity an absolute plague on the earth. So, like, what's a kid to do? they're just going to cut themselves off. They're going to minimize themselves, censor themselves so heavily, and just try to not be here. Because again, all we are is a plague. All we are is a virus. All we are is something horrible. And that just kills me. As in, because it's not true. As in, humans are amazing. No other animal can appreciate art and beauty. No other animal can create art and beauty to the complexity that we can. Perhaps they have a weird mating ritual that is cool. It's not the same. They're not as conscious as us. They're not aware of the fact that they are conscious, if they're conscious at all. I think they are conscious some bit. But they're not aware. They don't have enough. They don't have the excess consciousness to be self-aware and to have all the complexity and all the creativity and all the weirdness that results in having so much consciousness that you're conscious of being conscious. Okay, I'm getting philosophical now. I'm getting spiritual. I'm getting weird about it. Forget it, okay? Just stop catastrophizing. Stop looking at dystopian futures. Or at least compartmentalize, separate it out. Yes, there's stuff to be worried about. I'll give you that, no prob. But there's stuff to be hopeful for. At least acknowledge that. So, that's it for today. Strange one. But why not? We're here, we're talking, it's grand. So I will see you again on Tuesday, I believe. I'm working over the weekend. So I will see you then. Bye guys.